Hey guys, it's Kyra, and today I'm going to show you how to make this tassel keychain, and it is super easy. I've seen so many people with these kinds of keychains, and they can get pretty expensive, so I decided that I could probably make this. For this DIY, you'll need embroidery floss, a tassel maker, a yarn needle, and a pair of scissors. In the top left corner, I have a guide to help me figure out how I'm going to be doing this, and I have laid out my embroidery floss in the order in which I'm going to have my tassel, with the dark green at the top and the orange at the bottom. And we're going to be working from the bottom tassel up to the top tassel. And you're going to want to cut two strings, one that's about a foot long and one that's about half a foot long. The foot long one is going to be so that we can hang it, like if you were to make it and hang it, but we're going to be using that to tie it together, and the shorter one is to give it that tasseled look by tying it around the middle. And all you have to do is wrap your yarn around your tassel maker until you've finished with your embroidery floss, and once you've done that, you can just slide it off your tassel maker, and you're going to get a circle. And if you don't have a tassel maker at home, you can always use cardboard and cut out a tassel maker. People use forks or really whatever they have. As long as you can get a circle shape, you can use whatever you please. Taking the longer string, I'm going to be tying a knot around the top so that we can end up tying it together with the other tassels. And then with the shorter piece of string, I'm going to tie it around the middle, but just for extra secureness, I have tied it like 2 or 3 times because I want to make sure that it doesn't come undone. And then again with a smaller piece of string, you're just going to lay your tassel on it, and you want that string to lay about 2/3 up on your tassel, and then you can tie that string 2 or 3 times just so that you know it's secure. For the last tassel, you're going to be doing essentially the same thing, but slightly different. Instead of cutting a 1-foot piece of string, you're going to want to cut a piece of embroidery floss that is about 2 feet in length, so double the longest string of the last 3 tassels. And then you're also going to want to cut a piece that is 6 inches or so if you don't have a key ring or something that you're going to be putting the tassel on. So for me, this acted as my key ring in the end. Again, like the other tassels, you're going to just want to take your thread and wrap it around your tassel maker until you've gotten all of your embroidery floss off of your bobbin or whatever you're using. And then once you've done that, you can take it off. And this is where it becomes a bit different. You're going to want to take your 2-foot piece of string, thread it through the middle, and then tie 2 knots just so that you know it's secure and in place. And once you've done this, you can begin on wrapping your string around the tassel so that it gives it a more finished look. And I did this, and I'm honestly not sure how many times I wrapped mine around. I just did until I had about a 2 or 3 inch strand of string left. And once I've done that, I decided that I was going to just tie it off right there. And I tied it on one side with the 2 shorter pieces of the string, and then I flipped it around and tied it again on the other side so that I know it's secure. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and cut your tassel so that it looks like a tassel and not a bunch of loops. And then from there, you can go ahead and trim up your tassel so that it looks all neat. Now I'm just going to take my 6-inch piece of embroidery floss, thread it through my yarn needle, and then thread it through the middle of my tassel. I was going to use a key ring, but I did not think that the key ring was going to be able to fit into the tassel, so I decided to stick with a 6-inch piece of thread, and I tied 3 knots, I believe, an inch away from the center of the loop. And I did that to essentially act as the key ring so that I did not have to try to wedge the key ring into the middle of it. And after I trimmed that, I just moved the little knot into the center of the loop so that you can't see that and it looks more finished. Now you can take your 3 other tassels and keep them laid out in the order in which you want them to be appearing in your tassel, and you need to thread the little ends through your yarn needle, and you're going to stick the needle through the middle of your tassel and like through where you tied the loop about 3/4 up on the tassel. It's easier to see than explain in real life. But once I did that, I just took the orange string and the blue string and tied a knot with those so that I know is secure, and this is how you're going to be doing that layering effect for the first 3 tassels. When you get to the tassel that's going to be on the top, you're going to want to take your 3rd tassel, thread the needle, and then put it through the center where we created that loop. And this is a bit tricky because it is more stiff than the other tassels, and I took the string and just tied a knot around it so that it gives it a bit of a finished look. And I'm very glad that I put the tassels in the order that I did, because this gives it like a little like gold rim around the green. And once I've tied 2 or 3 knots, I'm going to rethread my needle and send this thread back down through the center of the green tassel, and this will just hide the string so that you don't even see it at all. And it is longer than the other yellow tassel, so I just decided to trim it so that it looks like it just belongs with the yellow tassel. And once you've done this, you are done with your tassel, and here is the finished product. This is one of my favorite DIYs that I've done this far on my channel, and I hope you guys liked it too. If you guys did like this, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. It really means a lot. Thanks again for watching. Bye!